I want you to evaluate yourself. Who is robbing your bank account? Who is robbing your bank account? Who is robbing your financial goals? When you find that you overly dwell on what Steve Covey calls the circle of concern, things that you have no control over, they rob your bank account. One of those things are things like you gossip. So you find other people's stories, other people's lives are what dominates your conversation. It means what comes out of your mouth is dominating your inner state. It's dominating your thoughts, your mind, your imagination. So other people's concerns are what you dwell on, yet there are things you have no control over. When you are with your friends, just listen to yourself. What do you talk about? What is that you contribute in this meeting, in this conversation? If all you talk about is someone else, it's robbing your bank account. You see, growth and failure all emanate from the same place, your inner state. So if this inner state is dominated by things that are anti-growth, things about people, politics, I don't know which problem is happening where, and I don't know this one did what, this one left their husband, and this one, I don't know what it's happening between them and their boss. How can that environment be the ideal environment for your own growth? So yesterday, we were talking about, we were continuing the conversation around financial burden. And I promise today that I'll share with you the 2 key strategies to get unstuck if you're stuck with financial burdens. But then sometimes we talk about so many technical things around financial jargon and heavy stuff, yet the simple things are the ones that are keeping us from getting where we want to get to financially. And one of them is dwelling in the circle of concern, as opposed to the circle of influence. I do hope if you've read the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Steve Covey, he talks about this. And one of the circle of concern is other people's lives or political stuff or overly talking about the weather. We recently had heavy floods and they really affected so many families and our loved ones in very difficult. It was a very difficult season. And for those who lost their lives, may their souls rest with the angels and saints. It was a very difficult time. But then, even if you are affected by this flood, either directly or indirectly, if you find the whole day that is all you're talking about, something you cannot control, oh, there it goes, it's raining again, oh, I don't know which one, this place is, I don't know, the road is impassable, and this one, and that's all that is preoccupying your day. What happens? The same brain, the same inner state cannot accommodate anything else. Of course, we get concerned, we see what's happening, we need to be aware so that we also take care of ourselves and our loved ones, but we can't dwell in there. And that cannot be the recipe of our day, day in, day out, right? But most importantly, this thing, the effects of gossip. I remember before I knew better, and I have even written it in the introduction of my book, My Money Journal. Before I knew better, I used to observe people with the wrong lens. Yeah, I was vain. And I would look at people. I've even written it here. Let me read it for you. At that time, I was very extravagant and I could spend and spend. I was on a spending spree. And I used to wonder why some of my colleagues didn't have the latest things like I did, I would see them wearing the same clothes, carrying the same handbags every so often, and I would think to myself, we earn the same salary, so what do they do with their money? Little did I know that I was actually the foolish one who was burdening myself with unnecessary lifestyle commitments. I was blinded, busy projecting my concerns on other people and not really coming back to look at my own financial situation. Yesterday, we said that the first step is to have clarity on your financial picture. Know what is happening with your numbers. You see, you can never resolve what you don't know. You cannot change what you don't know. You need to know, how much do I earn? How much do I spend? How much do I save? Like sometimes I get these odd statements from clients and they tell me, oh, I bought some shares with Safaricom, I don't know when. Oh, how many shares do you have? I don't know. How much? What's the value of these shares? No idea. So who knows? Whose business is it to know? It's only you who can know. It's just not a matter of saying, I've bought this, I've bought that. You need to know the details and you need to know what are the implications on my overall numbers. And one reason why people do not even know what exists in their financial position as of current is because many people do not work with financial goals. So you have no end in mind. Yeah? You have to begin with the end in mind. Where is all this leading me to? Right? So that you can assess and see, when I invest in Safaricom shares or in bonds, what part is it playing in the overall picture? Well, let's come back to the two strategies. The first is the defensive strategy. So the defensive strategy is all about protecting what you already have. That is where we talk about things like operate on a budget, what here we call a wallet tracker, something that tracks what is already there. Track it so that you know, where does my money go? Then second defensive strategy is to save. For you to save, it means you need to manage your spending. You need to manage the things you commit yourself to, the obligations, the demands, financial demands that you engage in. You need to monitor and see, how can I leave room for saving? Ideally, it's good to, there are certain guidelines that are there. They're general guidelines, but specifically you need to have your own saving rate. So the general guideline is at least save 20% of your income, but that is general. There are people who can do 30, there are people who can do 40, depends on your personal circumstances. So for you to save, one of the things that hinders people from saving is lack of money boundaries. Lack of money boundaries. My money just goes. Boundaries for yourself and boundaries for your loved ones or the people around you. There has to be a place where you say, I start from here, I end here as regards spending. It cannot be just an open river that just flows and money goes and it just ends when it's finished, right? Have money boundaries. These money boundaries helps you to create room for something that you can save. And once you save, then you invest it. And investment now takes us to the next strategy, which is offensive strategy. Earning more, making your money grow. Yeah? Making your money grow. If your money is not growing, yeah? If your money is not growing, it's hurting you. Money is meant to grow. Your money not the one of Warren Buffett, because sometimes we are very good at analyzing. Oh, he is now, I don't know, 200 million, 300 million, billion dollars worth. I don't know who has moved to this level of wealth. That is them. We are talking about yours. Your money needs to grow, right? The offensive strategies. There are two ways to make your money grow. One is through active income, active income streams, and the second is by passive income streams. So I'll later talk in detail about this because I have a meeting coming up. But just to touch a bit on it, when you talk about the active income, that is where things like employment come in, business comes in, affiliation arrangements come in, network marketing comes in. All those are active ways of generating income. Then we have the passive ways. That is where you can invest in real estate. You can invest in portfolios, stocks and bonds. You can invest in Forex. You can invest in cryptos. All those are passive income streams. The thing is, first, before even you get into passive, you need to have the money. You cannot invest what you don't have. Yeah, you cannot invest what you don't have. That is why the active part is so important. Then you put in the defensive mechanisms to protect what you've already earned. Then that, what you've protected, you now make it grow and work for you. It is a very beautiful space. I love talking about money because when you just follow that process, you see it impacting your life and the life of others, your loved ones, very positively. So back to where I started from. Yeah? Where focus goes, energy flows. When your focus is on things that you have no control over, your circle of concern, that is where your energy flows. The energy you need to be using to generate more income. The energy you need to be using to be more creative. The energy you need to be using to enhance your imagination so that you can grow and be more financially empowered. You can do this for you and your loved ones. Let's bring our energy back, our focus on our circle of influence. And one of the circle of influence is understanding your numbers, knowing where things are, having that clarity on your financial picture. Well, it's great. We've had this session. We've had this conversation. I believe that you're just not here to listen to me. You're actually making these things a reality in your own life. And may you rise and elevate your financial well-being. Bye for now.